Why did Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey break? When a celebrity and his or her love interest break up, it can devastate the audience and cause fans to be heartbroken. When this happens in the entertainment industry, fans want to know why. Sometimes people get a little more personal when they want to find out why their favorite celebrity broke up with someone they loved. In this video, we will take a look at the history of Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey's relationship to find out what caused their breakup. Why Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan broke up despite being in love and talking about the future. Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan announced their split over the weekend, with a source telling People that the couple of a year and a half had broken up despite still being in love. According to People and Entertainment Tonight, sources have revealed why Harvey and Jordan concluded their relationship couldn't work. Michael B. Jordan and Lori Harvey have called it quits after a year and a half of dating. A source close to the former couple verified the news, according to People. Michael and Lori are both distraught, according to the source. They are still in love. Michael developed a lot throughout their relationship and was ready to commit for the long haul, they added. He let his guard down with her, opening up emotionally for the first time in a love relationship. They had a terrific time together and brought out the best in one another. In March, the couple made their red carpet debut by attending the Vanity Fair Oscar party in Beverly Hills. Harvey, 25, was alone in Cannes in May for the screening of Final Cut. And when she returned, speculations that she and the 35-year-old Creed star were on the rocks surfaced. In January of 2021, they became official on Instagram, and in November of that year, they celebrated their first anniversary. Jordan told The Hollywood Reporter a month later that he finally found what love was with Harvey, which is why he felt comfortable talking about their relationship publicly. In September of that year, Harvey discussed their delight with Jordan on The Real. She explained, "We really truly balance each other. I truly believe in the phrase, when you know, you know. I believe that remark applies to our circumstance, and we simply have a great time together." Steve Harvey, father of Lori, talks Black Music Month, potential wedding song for daughter Lori Harvey. Steve Harvey ruled Chicago's radio airwaves in the late 1990s before pitting families against one another on Family Feud. He's disc jockeying again, this time for TV music documentaries some 25 years later. Every Wednesday in June, the comedian, host, and recent fashion icon will be the face of AXS TV's Black Music Month celebration, which will broadcast previously released music documentaries such as Lightning in a Bottle, Mr. Dynamite, The Rise of James Brown, and Beats, Rhymes, and Life, The Travels of a Tribe Called Quest. Aside from being an investor in AXS TV's parent company, Harvey says he was a rather obvious choice for the Black Music Month hosting gig, saying music is part of my fibers. From childhood recollections of sneaking into OJ's concerts to the right music for a future father-daughter waltz with Lori Harvey, the 65-year-old Hollywood entrepreneur has a soundtrack for every moment of his life. "I grew up in the 1960s, and my teenage years were in the 1970s, so it was completely different to me," Harvey explains. "Since music used to be so separated, music was everything to us back then. It was such a cultural experience, and it just kept going." Harvey has established himself in practically every aspect of the media, having mastered stand-up comedy, starring in his own sitcom, providing his voice on the radio, and hosting a number of pageants, games, and variety events. While he hasn't dabbled in music, he does share some of the songs that keep him going. A much younger Harvey was caught red-handed by his brother for sneaking into venues, but Harvey considers his first legitimate concerts the Commodores, Earth, Wind and Fire, and LTD. Back in the day, that was the date because everything was live music back then, Harvey says. "It was like the date. You know, it was bigger than the movies." Harvey, who describes himself as an R&B guy, says today's music lacks the romance of yesterday's hits and believes today's music tends to lean toward being disrespectful to women. Steve Harvey reacts to a sultry photo of Lori and Michael B. Jordan, his daughter. Back then, you had to talk to women differently, Harvey explains. You had to romance ladies in music. I think the concept of having a certain amount of respect for women in music is gone. Steve Harvey has reclaimed custody of his daughter, but he has no quarrel with Michael B. Jordan. I'm Team Lori 1000%, Steve stated on Monday's broadcast of the Steve Harvey Morning Show, after People exclusively broke the news that Lori Harvey and Jordan, 35, had broken up over the weekend. Things happen, continued the television host, 65. It's hard to be young and in the limelight and have a successful relationship. Look, as long as everybody can walk away in peace, be friends. I ain't heard nobody say they busted no windows or nothing. As long as you don't put your hands on my daughter, I don't give a damn what you do, Steve said. Over the course of their relationship, Michael grew a lot and was ready to commit for the long haul. He let down his guard with her, opening up emotionally in a love relationship for the first time, the insider continued. They had a lot of fun together and drew out the best in each other. I think Jordan is still a cool guy from what I know, Steve remarked on his show on Monday, adding, I'm very sure they'll be all right. People split up all the time. Steve continued, I just wish I could have broken up without the monetary element. The actress has been through 2 divorces. I need to start learning from my kids. Get out early. I waited way too long. Also on Monday, a source close to Lori, 25, the founder and CEO of SKN by LH, told People that the model or influencer is young and wasn't ready to commit to Jordan. She is very career-focused, the source noted. Lori realized they weren't on the same page, while she and the Black Panther actor were making plans for their future. According to the insider, she still wants to be free and have fun, the source stated. Michael is a wonderful person. She is disappointed that their relationship did not work out, but she is moving on. Lori and Jordan's representatives have declined to comment on their breakup. Rather than their breakup, Michael B. Jordan also discusses about on his growing empire, new love and seizing the moment. It's my turn. It's my turn to make my impact while I have the energy and strength, says Michael B. Jordan, who was photographed October 2 at Quixote Studios in Los Angeles. I've got to tee up the ones that come after, but at the same time hyper-focus on what needs to be done right now. The actor-producer addresses his clean brand, new willingness to disclose his personal life, and the cost of fighting for real change in Hollywood as he stars in the love drama A Journal for Jordan and prepares for his directing debut, Creed 3. Michael B. Jordan claims that he has spent his entire life preparing for this moment. He's been holed up in an Atlanta hotel for the past few months, and he'll be staying there for the next 6 months as he prepares to direct Creed 3. Meanwhile, he's promoting a new film, Denzel Washington's romantic drama, A Journal for Jordan. So despite going to bed at 5 a.m. on this November morning, he's already up noon, peeling an orange for sustenance while chatting with a reporter and recounting the Canelo Alvarez-Caleb Plant fight the night before, which he and his department heads had watched on pay-per-view for research. Canelo fights orthodox. He fights right-handed, but he's a lefty, so his lead hand is his dominant hand, which is quite dangerous, Jordan explains while shadowboxing. If your power punch is your setup hand, then people assume you to unleash the bomb here. But it's really coming with this person. As a result, the setup is in full swing. Everything that has come before, Jordan's 2-decade rise to A-list movie stardom, with credits ranging from prestige series, The Wire, to billion-dollar blockbusters, Black Panther, has been nothing more than a warm-up act. It's all been part of a precisely calibrated strategy to get to this stage in his career and life, where he can finally have complete control over his story, brand, and business. Part of the reason he's been so savvy is that his personal trajectory corresponded with a period of relative racial improvement in Hollywood, offering a unique window of opportunity. There's a specific navigation to get to the position I need to get to when you're young, Black, and successful, and disruptive in this sector, he explains. For someone in favor right now, this is the most open that things have been, and you strive to hold that moment and remain it for as long as you can. Jordan plans to leverage his celebrity by switching to more mature roles as an actor, making his directorial debut on a roughly $400 million studio series, Creed 3, in which he also plays, and expanding his commercial ventures. My ambitions have collided at this point, he adds, where I have the skills and knowledge to direct, the opportunity to get behind the camera within a franchise, and the capacity to optimize it by establishing a production business. Now is my chance to make a difference while I still have the energy and power. I need to prepare for the ones that follow while still focusing on what needs to be done right now. It's the moment I've been looking forward to my entire life. That's it. This has the potential to shape the next 10, 15, or 20 years. Oscar-nominated screenwriter Virgil Williams' Mudbound adapted Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist Dana Kennedy's best-selling 2008 book of the same name into the movie A Journal for Jordan, which Sony will premiere in theaters on Christmas Day. U.S. fiancé of Kennedy Army First Sergeant Charles Monroe King was murdered in Iraq in 2006, and the book is dedicated to their then-infant son, with Kennedy describing their almost decade-long romance while weaving in excerpts from King's 200-page diary of fatherly counsel. The picture alternates between Donna's bereft present and the idyllic pre-September 11 years of her courtship with Charles, played by Jordan. The actor, who also produced the film through his Outlier Society, embodies the physical prowess of the sportsmen and action heroes he's played in films like Friday Night Lights, Creed, and Without Remorse, as well as the clean-cut charisma of his off-screen character. His Charles is a small-town square whose chivalrous Midwestern traditions clash with the urban modernity of New York Times senior editor Dana, who is played by Shantae Adams from The Photograph. Jordan had previously denied the role of romantic hero, in part because it was not offered to him by Denzel Washington. When movie legend turned director Todd Black and his producer Todd Black came calling with the script, he says, "I felt I was going to grow greatly." He had already planned to direct the third Creed film at the time, and saw the opportunity to learn from two masters in one. Journal for some is a long-awaited first collaboration between Washington and the projected candidate to succeed him. Both are aware of the parallels, even if they don't view themselves or each other in the same way. When asked if he sees himself in the younger man, Washington says, "I simply know I like him, and I can see why audiences love him. Whatever it element there is, he has it," says the director, who is probably right. Denzel perfected leading man. He was like, "I'm going to conquer this one thing and master it." The specificity of that got him to the point where he is universal and can do anything, Jordan says of one of his inspirations. But as much as he admires Washington, he identifies with someone from a different generation. Will Smith had a business-oriented approach, which I appreciate. He always maintains that he doesn't think he's the most skilled, but he works the hardest. It's about work ethic, large picture thinking, and marketability. Jordan has meticulously laid out his own great goal with the help of his longtime agent turned manager, Philip Sun. "Philip and I are always talking about the 3-year, 5-year plan," he adds, adding that in addition to the one for you, one for me blockbuster prestige model that only top actors can carve out, he's been thinking about a different career path. When do you want to age yourself in your filmography? He muses about the gap between his still youthful looks. He acknowledges he could still play 18, at least on the CW if he shaved, and his itch to play more mature, meatier parts. The role of Charles in Journal represents a transition into the mid-adulthood of a grown man who has come of age, as well as Jordan's first romantic drama. For the first time, the journal represents a different side of Jordan. I wanted a woman's perspective, says Washington, who asked the film's cinematographer, renowned Maurice Alberti, the wrestler Creed, where the camera should be placed during a love scene between Charles and Dana. Alberti answered, on Michael, on his behind. Jordan has only had a bit more fun with the thirst trap component of his appeal in the last year. After winning People's Sexiest Man Alive in November 2020, he portrayed Alexa in a Super Bowl commercial in February, a canny bit of cross-promotion to kick off his newly inked first-look film and overall TV deal with Amazon Studios. All of this happened to coincide with a huge personal success. I passed on some roles because I realized I didn't have enough life experience to play them. What can I draw from, I wondered, says Jordan. However, I finally discovered what love was. Jordan is referring to his year-long relationship with model influencer Lori Harvey, a daughter of comedian and Family Feud host Steve Harvey. As anyone paying even passing attention to such issues or social media knows, he and Harvey have gone all-in-one being Instagram official, posting PDAs from Salt Lake City to St. Bart's, after years of generally remaining silent in the face of conjecture about his love life. Not only about whom he was dating, but also about the types of people he is and isn't attracted to. I don't know if I could have handled the barrage of comments and being picked apart when I was younger, while still being cognizant of what the other person is going through. Jordan says of his decision to go public with his dating life. It takes a certain kind of individual to deal with something like that. But he adds, the circumstances was real enough for me to convey. There is a conscious strategy of staying out of the public eye that destroys spontaneity and connection occasionally. Jordan's uncommon effusiveness is the giddiness of a first-time lover who has also just granted himself the license to double-tap his girlfriend's images without overthinking it. To cut a long story short, I believe it's just a matter of timing. He smiles as he explains, it was the appropriate time for me. Yeah, I'm happy. That's it for this video, Plenty of Pop fan. Remember to subscribe to our channel for all the latest celebrity news and gossip. It's like candy you can't stop eating. We'll cover what celebrities are wearing, who is dating who, and not dating anymore. It's hard to keep up with the recent happenings in their lives. We'll satisfy your gossip fix daily. Comment below if there's a celebrity in particular you want us to cover or a juicy news tip you'd like to share.